work on the war in Europe, that is the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. You rushed to Africa to resolve a long-standing problem. Lots of efforts had been made by many heads of states, but your will made it possible for this agreement to be signed. And now, this conflict is behind us. You are currently working with a great deal of enthusiasm. And you're also working on the Middle East. You're paying a great deal of attention to the Middle East. We all know how far back this conflict goes. It is a conflict that is about 80 years old, 70 years, but it is also a war that has been raging for a year and a half. And you've also talked about the human toll. Many people have died in this conflict.
It's true. And guys, let's make sure we double tap the screen and like the video. Appreciate the support, by the way. But yes, let's make sure we double tap that screen.
Of course, you also stopped the war between Iran and Israel. That could have been a real disaster for the region. It's a sensitive region to start with.
Yeah.
Your work in favor of peace has been tremendous. And we are also very interested in supporting peace in the same way. When there's no peace,
and I'll tell you the reason why we're all happy that the conflict stopped, because it was getting wild how everybody was starting to choose sides on that war. Like all of Iran's allies were sticking up for them, going like, look, man, if we got to get involved, we will. And we were sticking up for Israel, pretty much saying, yo, if we got to get involved, we will. As these two was just slugging it out. Well, by slugging it out, I mean hitting each other with missiles.
You said earlier today, when there is no peace, a lot of other things are lacking. When there's no peace, it is difficult to have prosperity. It is difficult to have calm, to have a sense of quietness. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to go about your business every day. You understand that well, Mr. President, and you're working on this. So thank you.
Yeah. War's bad for business.
I am the president of Mauritania. Mauritania is a small country. Depending on the criteria you apply. If you look at the number of people who live in Mauritania, it's a small country because we have about 5 million people in Mauritania. Really? We might just be a little bit over 5 million. No, it's a small country also in the sense that
you lying.
What influence it has throughout the world. It's not like the US, Mr. President.
I mean, bro.
Internationally, we understand that our weight, our influence is not that great, and we have no complex about this.
Hey, nah. Is that small to you guys? Like, is this whole, bro? It takes up a pretty large section of Africa. That's a lot of land for only 5 million people. I'm like, what? Because I thought I was tripping. I was like, hold on, am I looking at the same picture? Did he really call his country small? But I'm all right then. I guess if Africa, if that's what they consider small, then it is what it is.
It's also a small country.
Okay.
Because of our level of prosperity. We're not a very prosperous country. We have many problems related to the well-being of our population. But it is also a great country, a big country in other ways. Mauritania is a great country in the sense of its strategic position. It is on the Atlantic coast, which makes it a neighbor to the US. It is what unites North Africa and sub-Saharan Africa, or what links the two. That is its strategic position, but also in terms of resources. We have a great deal of resources, many resources, and we have a lot of opportunities to offer in terms of investment. We have minerals, rare earths, rare minerals. We have manganese. We have uranium. And we have a good inclination that we have lithium and other minerals. We're the second largest producer for the last 60 years in Africa of iron.
Well, according to Google, it's pretty much known for its vast Sahara Desert landscape, rich mineral resources, as he was explaining, and its significant role in the history of the Almoravid dynasty. Now, I'm gonna have to look that one up, but it looks like it has some ancient history to it.
Iron ore. We produce
Never heard of that.
a lot. And we have a lot of resources in our seawaters, so lots of fishing and whatnot. I don't want to spend too much time on this.
But I appreciate it very much. I appreciate it. Maybe we're going to have to go a little bit quicker than this because we have a whole schedule. If I could just ask, your name and your country would be great. Thank you, please.
Muito obrigado, Senhor Presidente Trump, e sobretudo.
Thank you, Mr. President, and for welcome and everything. For us, it's the second time here to come as a guest. The first time we had that meeting in Guinea-Bissau, but I will not talk so much. But Guinea-Bissau is a peaceful country, and we are a small country, but we are a great state. Not a great state like the United States, but we're a great country as well. And to end, we are be following your dynamics and the war with Russia and Ukraine. And you can count on Guinea-Bissau. Thank you very much.
Oh, he was quick.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me congratulate you for the recent celebration of your 249th anniversary.
Oh.
We did in Liberia at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. And also we are committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We are a country that have had series of democratic elections, and our country had been cooling down. And also we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia.
Yeah.
We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region.
Now, he is coming here a bit dishonestly because one of the main reasons why he's here is because we cut his USAID. Yeah, USAID cut, and we used to give Liberia prior significant aid. We used to give them a decent amount of money. And let's see, our trade volume with them is about $293 million. So, I mean, they're somewhat important, somewhat.
Because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such
Yes.
beautiful.
I know.
Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well,
Very
and
good, sir. Thank you.
they come
Oh, that's
from.
savage. Okay. Well, wait. He basically said, man, look, the rest of y'all need to start speaking English like him. Guess he having some confusion. Bro, trying to get his mic right. It's crazy how a foreign leader got more respect for the English language than people who live here. That's crazy. That is absolutely wild.
No microphone for the speaker.
There is no microphone for the speaker.
Microphone for the speaker.
Oh, wow. So it did the same thing on Fox. I was wondering.
Rwanda and the DRC.
Here we go.
Africa is had in.
All right.
Commend you, Mr. President, for the success you had in reaching a peace agreement between Rwanda and the DRC. Africa is a vast continent that has many problems, and we truly count on you for your assistance in Sudan and in the Sahel, because no investment can be made when there is a war. For investment, you need peace. The other heads of state who are here with me represent countries that are at peace, and that has been the case for some time. When we also have raw materials, minerals, rare earths. We are not poor countries. We are rich countries when it comes to raw materials.
Yeah, when it comes to raw material, I mean, you're poor in, I guess, I don't know, currency. Because, I mean, you're not doing all that well, but y'all got all the resources in the world to be doing well.
But we need partners to support us and help us develop those resources with win-win partnerships. That is our wish. I often listen to your remarks and speeches, Mr. President. We also want our raw materials to be processed locally in our country so that we can create value and to create jobs for youth so that they stop dying. They are crossing the sea, the ocean, to go to other countries. That is what we want, to have local processing of raw materials. Gabon is a rich country. We have over 2 million inhabitants and a great deal of.
And yes, it was Gabon. They were suspended from the African Growth and Opportunity Act that was set in 2000. But yeah, they were suspended from that. And I mean, that's pretty much why they're here now. Because, yeah, they got banned for human rights violations. So, I mean, God only knows.
Diversity, raw materials, oil and gas reserves. And we would like those resources to be tapped using an economic model that fits. Since our liberation, we have changed how we do trade. We have focused on transparency and bids for anyone who wants to come invest in our country. If you follow the news, we have also worked on agreements with the European Union, and we wanted to review those because we didn't think that those were win-win opportunities. So our market is open. We want to process manganese.
I mean, yeah, and that's the problem with some of these African countries. They either get abused by one of the European countries like Nigeria and France, how France was just pretty much pillaging in them for their uranium and not letting these people benefit off their resources at all. That's why they kind of got them up out of there. And that's the problem with a lot of these African countries. They either trust the Chinese or the Europeans, and they screw them in the end. And I mean, that's on them.
Locally, which you purchase through a company called Aramet. And I'm sure that it's more expensive compared to when you can come and buy it directly from us In order to do this local processing, we need 8 to 10 gigawatts of electricity. Again, this is an open bid. Any American company that wants to invest in electricity in Gabon
Oh,
is welcome to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, looking at defense, the Gulf of Guinea is an issue. There is maritime piracy in that area, and we want to work together to stabilize it. You said you had the best equipment, the best military equipment, and that's what we'd like to have so that we can stop maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. We can't do it alone. We need a reliable and strong partner that is committed and that takes real steps, real action. We also need to be pragmatic, and that's what you are. And I'm a general, and I am too. I'm pragmatic. I like it when things move quickly. Our country is free, open to one and all. You are welcome to come and invest. Otherwise, other countries might come instead of you. Thank you.
all right now, and this guy name is Bryce Nugama. He took power in a coup on the 30th of August 2023. So that's what he meant by he says I'm a general and I'm a leader. Because I mean, bro took power in a coup like 2 years ago. He's only been leader of that country for 2 years. This guy right here, I mean, all right, so I guess he's the badass of the group.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay.
Merci, Monsieur.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I would like to thank you for this invitation. It is an honor for us to be here at the White House and to have this opportunity to speak with you about the new partnership that you are putting in place with Africa, particularly for investment. I also wanted to commend you for your commitment to peace throughout the world and the incredible diplomatic success that you had with the DRC, as my colleagues mentioned. You said that this put an end to a long war that claimed many lives, and thankfully, you were here to put an end to this 30-year war. I also wanted to express that Africa supports all efforts to bring back peace to Sudan, Libya, and in the Sahel. Mr. President, as you've seen, you can only do business when there is peace and security, and you build peace everywhere in the world so that there can be better investments. The entire world is grateful to you for this. Now, with respect to my country, Senegal, I've been president for some 15, 16 months now, and I want to reassure all American investors about our country's political stability. And
Now, Senegal, they're not too bad, but I mean, we definitely do need to work out a trade deal with them because we have a whole lot of active USAID programs with these guys and defense cooperation. And with a trade volume of $586 million, I mean, all right, well, they benefit us more than the other countries, I'll tell you that.
our favorable regulatory environment, which we
Well,
are continuously
other
improving
leaders.
upon in order to attract more investment.
Excuse me.
I wanted to speak about two projects that I think are an exceptional opportunity. I will speak about the U.S. Ecological Survey, which can help assess the potential of the minerals in our country. And thanks to American companies, we've been able to discover oil and gas.
Oh, guys, let's make sure we double tap the screen and like the video. We got 500 plus of y'all in here, man. Do me a favor and double tap that screen and like the video. Appreciate the support, by the way. Let's keep it going.
Some 950 billion cubic meters of gas that we can tap into in order to support our economy. And again, here we were able to do this with an American company. Another project I'd like to mention, and again, I would like to invite American investors to take part in this. It's for a digital city. We identified a space within the city of Dakar. It has a view of the sea. It's on some 40 hectares, and this is a great opportunity for American tech companies to come in and make Dakar a tech city open to Africa.
Really?
I was wondering what your secret was for resolving all these complex crises, and I know you are a tremendous golf player. Golf requires concentration and precision, qualities that also make for a great leader. Senegal has exceptional opportunities to offer, including in the area of tourism. So perhaps an investment could be made in a golf course in Senegal. It would just be 6 hours by flight from New York, from Miami, from Europe, or from the Gulf. And that would be an opportunity for you to show off your skills on the golf course too. Thank you for your attention, sir.
Yeah, they selling themselves. They sure are. I mean, they're going like, look, man, we got all the opportunity for infrastructure. You can bring your tech infrastructure here, mining. I mean, set up a supply chain for the rare earth minerals. Like, bro, just toss some American dollars our way. Is pretty much what they're saying.
Nice. It's some way to show off my skills. It's a long trip to show off my skill, but that's really nice. And he's led a very interesting life. He looks like a very young person. He's a little older than he looks, but a fantastic job. He was treated very unfairly by his government, and he prevailed. And so congratulations on that. Really, congratulations. A great job. And you've all done a fantastic job. And so
For
we'll be
real.
talking to you as we have the meal. Do you want to ask any questions, please? Where's my reporter from Africa? There you are.
And shout out to my man Monty. He says, open the phones. Hey, appreciate the support, man. In the phone line, well, I'll go ahead and post the call-in link in the post tab. Guys, just give me about 10 minutes.
How are you? He's very famous in Africa, see?
Thank you. Miss, I have one question for the African presidents and one question for President Trump. As you can see, Mr. President Trump, all the African presidents are very happy with your efforts to bring peace in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. My question to you is, today you are making history by receiving 5 African presidents and showing the interest of the United States to collaborate and to work close with the African nations. African continent is watching. African youth is watching.
Now, let's be real. Now, I'm gonna be fair. Now, we can say that Trump, we all know that Trump's not racist. This kind of proves it. But then, you know, the liberals will say he just want Africa for their resources. He's trying to hit Africa for the gold bars. And I mean, you're not too far off. I'll be real with you. But hey, it could also be that he's actually trying to help out Africa, and he realized that it's a region in conflict. Well, the continent, damn near half the continent's in conflict. Well, I dare say 80% of it.
And this new approach that your administration is taking to deal with African nation, not only based on help, but in doing business that everybody can win, is really much appreciated for all the Africans. My question is, are you planning, Mr. President, in the future to travel to Africa to see firsthand all those countries in Africa, all those potential that those countries have? And for the African leaders, my question is, as you can see, President Trump is working to bring peace, not only in Africa, but also in the world. Are you all considering to nominate President Trump for a Nobel Prize Peace?
Nobel Peace Prize.
That's a very nice reporter. I got to meet her 2 weeks ago when we had the Congo and Rwanda, and we had some other people up from Africa, and I was the first time, but that's very nice. I appreciate the questions. Very nice, actually.
Apparently, that's Trump's type. I mean, apparently he likes them tall and beautiful.
Would you like to, at some point, I would like to go to Africa. Absolutely. We're going to see what the schedule is, but at some point, I would like to do that very much. Would you like to give a fast answer, please?
Thank you very much.
Microphone, please.
Please.
Of course, on soutient cette dynamique.
We are in favor of this dynamic for peace. We are very committed on peace. I am the first head of state who went to Russia and who went to Ukraine both since the start of the war. I held the presidency of ECOWAS, and I went to see Mr. Putin. We spoke for 4 hours, and then I went to Ukraine. I spent 12 hours on a train to speak to President Zelensky. But now the weight of President Trump is something else altogether. We are with you. We are behind you to see what we can do to help bring peace back. No one wins when there's war. So you have our support so that we can bring peace back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President Trump. Thank you for your questions. A Nobel Peace Prize, while I don't see any problem with it, I think that President Trump deserves it for all the efforts that he's worked on. And he brought peace back in the SEAC region. That is my region, the region where DRC and Rwanda signed a deal. And so he is now bringing peace back into a region where that was never possible. So I believe that he does deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. That is my opinion on
Sure, I'll tell you this, it's going to be a lot easier to bring peace to Africa than peace to the Middle East.
this.
A whole lot easier.
Thank you very much. Very nice. Thank you. I didn't know I'd be treated this nicely. This is great. We could do this all day long. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Mr. President, I believe that we have to continue to support America in the strength to be able to bring about peace in the world. America is a melting point and also a country that we all look forward to. And I want to encourage you, because without peace, we can't have a world to live in. And we stand with you on that.
Right. Thank you. Well said. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for your question. Very important question indeed. Forgive me for saying this, but unfortunately, I don't really understand. I don't know how things work when it comes to Nobel Prizes, but I can guarantee you that Mauritania would never be opposed to President Trump receiving a Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay.
Because he's already working very hard in favor of peace throughout the world, with no distinction, no regard to what continent it's on, and he's working on areas where there are tensions everywhere, and he's committed towards peace, and our world needs more peace. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The jury will decide. It's not a matter of voting amongst our countries, but what is for sure is that the results and the work has been done in such a short amount of time show that you would be a good recipient. And I'm sure that the jury sees that, and the rest of the world sees it as well and understands it. When the time comes, I think everyone will see that it is a deserved prize, congratulations on what you've done so far. If we took a poll, I think you would be very far ahead in those polls.
Which is very nice. All of you, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Peter?
Thank you, President Trump. James Comey and John Brennan now under criminal investigation related to the Trump-Russia probe.
Yep.
Do you want to see these two guys behind bars?
Well, I know nothing about it other than what I read today, but I will tell you, I think they're very dishonest people. I think they're crooked.
Yeah, those are the guys who ran the whole Russiagate thing and then try to say it was real, and that the Hunter Biden laptop was misinformation. All the lies in the world. But let's hear Fox talk about it.
All right, we have a Fox News alert. James Brennan and James Comey are likely regretting going all in on the Russia hoax now because
Remember James Comey, the guy who wrote 84 or 8646, 8647 in the sand? Yeah, that guy.
DOJ sources are telling Fox Digital that the FBI indeed has launched a criminal investigation into the former CIA director and former FBI director for potential wrongdoing related to the Trump-Russia probe and all the alleged false statements made to Congress. The full scope of the investigation is unclear right now, but two sources describe the FBI's view of the duo's interactions as, quote, a conspiracy.
Like, hey, Comey.
FBI, open up! Here to break it down, Jonathan Turley, George Washington University law prof and Fox News contributor. Jonathan, we've been hearing for some time about Brennan's alleged perjury over his role in the Steele dossier and the advancement of that, and perhaps understanding that that was not credible. Your reaction tonight to this stunning development?
Well, it's obviously a major development. These are two of the top people in the American intelligence system. And there have been these long unanswered questions about what they told Congress. At points, they both seem to adopt the Sergeant Schultz approach of, I knew nothing. If only I knew, I would have done something. That didn't strike many as being very credible. Both of these tend to be somewhat of micromanagers. They take pride in the fact that they followed the details of their departments. And it all comes down particularly to a period in 2017, an intelligence community assessment, an ICA, that went out and viewed the Steele dossier, that infamous dossier funded by the Clinton campaign, as credible. And that, in fact, Steele was credible. They knew that was not true. The CIA had already said that it had great misgivings about the Steele dossier. Even though the Clinton campaign was
but they did not care. They ran it as if it was truth, and everybody thought that Trump was a Russian asset, or that Trump was working for Putin, and our whole government has been subverted. It was the end of democracy, and a lot of people was gonna act on that, bro. People was talking. They was gonna impeach him over it, bro. The man was facing impeachment over a lie.
It is hell, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. I believe they are truly bad people and dishonest people.
And shout out my man Vlasine. He said, you got to try Nutter Butter waffles. Waffler? Delish. All right.
So whatever happens, happens.
And now, a few weeks after the strikes that you ordered on the nuclear facilities in Iran, there is an Iranian official who says you, President Trump, have done something that he can no longer sunbathe in Mar-a-Lago. As you lie there with your stomach to the sun, a small drone might hit you in the navel. It's very simple. Do you think that's a real threat? And when is the last time you went sunbathing anyway?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I don't know. Maybe I was around 7 or so. I'm not too big into it. Yeah, I guess it's a threat. I'm not sure it's a threat, actually, but perhaps it is.
And on one other subject, two Democratic senators now, Cory Booker and Alex Padilla, have a new bill out. They want to require CBP and ICE officers to have legible IDs, and they don't want CBP or ICE officers covering their faces. Would you ever sign that?
Really?
Well, they wouldn't be saying that if they didn't hate our country, and they obviously do. I'm surprised that they would do it, knowing a little bit about them. I don't know them well, but these officers are doing a tremendous job. They're great patriots, If you expose,
I'm gonna be real with you. A wafer, I know what a nutter butter is, but a nutter butter wafer, like I never wafer. Huh? Weird.
them because of statements like have been made
I
by
never heard of that.
Democrats and others on the left, usually, mostly, I think probably exclusively. You put them in great danger, tremendous danger. And it's sort of funny when people picket in front of Columbia, in front of Harvard, and they have masks on, more than masks. I mean, you can't see anything. Nobody complains about that.
Hey, now that is facts. I forgot all about that. I mean, you want the ICE agents to take off their masks, but the protesters don't want to take theirs off. I mean, especially the pro-Palestinian protesters. I mean, they covering up their face with the damn hijab.
But when a patriot who works for ICE or Border Patrol puts a mask on so that they won't recognize him and his family, so they can lead a little bit of a normal life after having worked so hard and so dangerously, there's a problem with that. So they have this is the problem with the Democrats. They have a lot of bad things going on in their heads.
But here's the thing, though, and I get what you guys are saying, but they're law enforcement set, and I get it. But the problem is, though, when you kind of deem these people like the Gestapo, you call them terrorists, and then you're willing to get violent against them. What do you expect? What do you expect? You guys are literally trying to bully ICE from pretty much upholding the immigration laws, upholding immigration policy. You guys are literally trying to bully ICE. Like, what do you think was going to happen? You think they were just going to let you bully them and dox their family and then assault them? What, really, guys? Really?
They've really become they've lost their confidence, number one, and they've become somewhat deranged. I want to do whatever's necessary to protect our great law enforcement people, and they are right at the top of the list.
And your agriculture department also announced this week that they are going to start limiting Chinese ownership of American farmland. Why do you think that the Chinese have been buying up all this farmland in our country so close to military installations?
Well, I don't want to get into that. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. We're going to see, and I'm going to, they're going to be making a recommendation to me, but we have a very good relationship. As you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs to the United States now. And
oh, guys, let's make sure we double tap the screen and like the video. Appreciate the support, by the way, but let's get more people in on the conversation by double tapping that screen.
So I'm not going to get into that right now. Yeah, please.
Yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that the White House was weighing whether to send another Patriot air defense system to Ukraine. Can you confirm that reporting?
They would like it. They've asked for it. They're very rare indeed, because a lot of systems have been sent to Ukraine. But they would like to. I know they made the request. We're going to have to take a look at it. It's very expensive system. It's a shame that we have to spend so much money on a war that would have never happened if I were president. That's a terrible, terrible war over there, and truly a shame. It's very sad. When you talk about a system like that, highly sophisticated, tremendous amount of money, and they're doing it because they want to prevent death. They're getting hit hard, very hard. So we're looking at it.
Also on Russia. Yesterday, sir, as well, Ukraine was hit by over 700 drones sent by Russia last night. What's your response to that attack?
Well, I've been sort of letting people know I'm not happy about what's going on. It's a war that should have never happened. It should not happen now. They're losing. Now it's up. I've been saying 5,000. Now it's up to 7,000. Think of it, 7,000 people a week on both sides. 7,000 people, young, mostly military people, young souls are dead and dying, and it should be stopped. It should be stopped. Very sad to see what's happening. Yes, please.
Sir, can you explain how you calculated your latest round of tariffs? Was there a formula that was used? And do you expect any of these countries to face tariffs as well?
The formula was a formula based on common sense, based on deficits, based on how we've been treated over the years, and based on raw numbers. And we're going to have a couple of more coming out today. Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all. We're going to be releasing a Brazil number, I think, later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning.
Too late. Trump announces 50% tariff on Brazil in retaliation for the Balarosco trial. No, it's what was it? It was their leader's trial because I guess he stole the election. That's what I've heard. And now, wait, hold on. Is that no? I'm gonna do a little bit more investigation to that. I'm not sure if that's Brazil or Venezuela, but it's pretty much for the trade deficit that we have with Brazil. And Trump has pretty much announced a 50% on Brazil. So yeah, on Brazilian goods beginning August 1st. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, guys. 50%. Yo, that's like the highest one handed out.
But they're based on very substantial facts and also past history.
Bolsonaro trial.
You look at the past history. We've been we never had anybody in the White House that understood the numbers or were into it like I have. You know, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, hundreds of billions, and we haven't even started yet. And it's going to be a great thing for our country. I think it's going to be a fair thing for the world. And we really haven't had too many complaints because I'm keeping them at a very low number, very conservative, as you would say, number. And we haven't had, I'm sure they will be complaining at certain points, but we haven't had complaints. We've been treated very.
Okay, and I heard about this. He was on PBD, Bolsonaro. Okay, yeah, so he's pretty much being accused of what? Trying to assassinate the country's current president. So yeah, the people like him, but I guess he's being framed for something like heinous, like pretty much what I said, an assassination. But all right, he's a cool guy,
Very unfairly by both friend and foe. And friend has treated us very badly. It's not even believable that for so many years, you know, I was using tariffs in my first administration. We had the most successful financially administration that there's ever been. This is going to be much better, but we got cut short with the COVID because I didn't think it was appropriate when, you know, Italy, Spain, so the horror show that a lot of the countries went through. So I cut it a little bit short, but we took in hundreds of billions of dollars and we had the most success.
All right, now, and it does say that Trump connected tariff measure to the ongoing legal proceedings against former Brazilian president Jair Bolsonaro, who faces accusations related to efforts to challenge the results of the 2022 presidential election. And then they also said that they tried to kill the man. So yeah, Brazil is a key provider of we'll see. All right. So they have already amended. Okay. I get where they're coming from with this one. So they're pretty much saying that, all right, look, man, we got a lot of amenities over there that we kind of actually that are more of a luxury than a necessity. I'll tell you that right now, like coffee imports and orange juice. More of a luxury than a necessity with them. So we can replace coffee or an orange juice with something else. I can see why the tariff is so high because they obviously benefit more than we do.
Term ever from a president financially, but this is going to be much more successful. Yes, please.
Do you expect any of the countries here to face tariffs as well?
I haven't thought of it, but I don't know. Let's see. I like him, and him. No, I don't think so. Not too much. He's very good. He's a friend of mine now. Yes,
thank you for taking our questions, Mr. President.
Okay.
You talked about the amount of external revenue the country has brought in thanks to your tariffs. Can you talk about how these hundreds of billions of dollars that are getting brought in will help grow the country, and what do you hope to put it towards?
Well, bigger than the tariffs actually are the fact that when you charge the tariffs at a certain point, they say, well, we can't pay those tariffs. It doesn't make economic sense. These are wealthy countries, and they or their companies will come into our country and build, and that's what's actually happening. If you had a very low tariff, there'd be no incentive to do that. If you have no tariff, like we used to have, which is so stupid, it's not even believable. But then obviously they make their product, the product in their country.
Yeah, no, we'll be real. They do supply around 35% of the United States coffee beans. Let's see here. Yep, unroasted coffee imports and around 81% of its orange juice. Damn, 81%. Really? Of imported orange juice? 81? Huh. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm surprised.
They have the jobs. They have
of imported orange juice set.
Of
imported orange juice. Florida still produces the lion's share of it. So
okay,
it's
81% imported.
Yeah.
Not what we can say. Okay, cool. No, yeah. Okay, I got that point. But it is a bit wild that they're 81% of it. I'm like, oh wow, we don't maybe we should spread that out a bit. They're making a little bit too much money, Monty, a little bit too much, just off orange juice.
Taxes, they have everything, and they just send it into us, and it's jobs that we wouldn't get. Now the wheel is turned, and what we're doing is more important, we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars, money that we've never seen before. But more important than that, we have a lot of people that would rather not have to pay that. So they're coming in and they're building plants. AI, we're leading everybody, including China, by a lot with AI. They're building their own plant. You heard me say yesterday, they're building their own electric generating plants to go along with the factories or plants that they're building. If they want to do that, we're getting them fast approvals, very fast turnarounds. They're using mostly natural gas to start off, but they're using coal. They have the right to use coal.
Hey,
They have
Seth.
the right to use nuclear.
What's up?
Just to go back on that, Florida produces 95% of all the orange juice in the world. So they're at 81% of 5%.
Of
So
of U.S.
4%
imported
of orange juice that we drink. Yeah. We throw away more orange juice than they give us.
Man, I see your point with that one. But all right, so with 35% of our imported coffee and then 81% of our orange juice, that's what I'm saying. It's not nothing that we truly need. That's why I could see why he put such a high tariff on it. It's like, bro, trust me, nobody's gonna be pressed to buy Brazilian orange juice at this point.
Yeah, that tariff could honestly be 200%, 300% because the American that's a good item to put a high tariff on if you really want to stick it to the country, because we're going to buy our domestic orange juice anyway.
Yeah.
Nuclear's come a long way in the last 5 years. So we're getting them very fast approvals. We have factories and plants building at a level that we've never had in this country before. Yeah.
And secondly, a study from the Council of Economic Advisors, you put it on Truth Social yesterday. It showed that your assessment that tariffs would slow inflation was accurate, and that the prices of imported goods since February has fallen. That your assessment was right, the critics were wrong. Why do so-called experts continually misread your economic policy, sir?
Tariff derangement syndrome, and they just don't want to admit that it worked. Like, yes, it's bringing in revenue. It brought in over $100 billion so far. Now, what? It didn't cause inflation. Prices have not risen. So, yeah, it is just straight up tariff derangement syndrome. It's the fear of tariffs that's been imposed upon the public that is honestly for nothing, because none of what they said happened. What's going on?
Logically, like, economists say tariffs are going to destroy the economy. Like, it makes logical sense. But when you're doing it as a foreign policy measure instead of a domestic trade measure, it works. There's a weird point in which you can feather it on and feather it off and use it for leverage, and that's what Trump's doing. Like, I just want to touch on the African trade deals that are going on. We send them billions and billions of dollars in aid, and now we're getting something out of it. Like, we're getting minerals deal, we're getting trade deals with those countries.
I would say this in America's in our example here, tariffs will work. If made like back in the day in the 1930s when we opposed them and it effed us up even more in the Depression, that was a completely different economy than what we're in now. So that's pretty much like, so I get what you're saying by, well, it can, like, usually tariffs are seen as like as a negative, and that's usually because we're the seller, or we were the seller, and that's why it was such a negative back in the day.
So the reason the tariffs, it wasn't the implementation. Wow, words are hard tonight. Of tariffs, it was more the raising of tariffs because our dollar was falling. That's why it made the economy worse, because now everything that was done before the Great Depression and then after the Great Depression with the New Deal has completely, like, destroyed the US's economy. Just, you're seeing the effects of it long term. It's been kicked off over and over again.
All right, well, shoot, I'm pretty sure people will debate that there's other reasons, but honestly, I agree with your assessment, though. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the experts, it's the fake news and a combination of that and the Democrats. I saw an ad on television today on Fox And it was some ad about, oh, Trump has raised costs. It's the opposite. I actually put out a statement. I brought down costs. I brought down the cost of groceries. I brought down the cost of energy, tremendously groceries. If you remember my first week in office, the press was screaming at me about the cost of eggs. They were 4 times higher than they were just a short time ago. That was caused by Biden and stupid policies, and we got that down. And by Easter, it was normalized, and now it's actually even at a lower price. So when I see an ad like that, it's always good to respond. I feel you have to respond. It was an ad that things are more costly. No, they're much less costly. Yesterday, $1.99 a gallon. There's 3 states. We're selling gasoline at $1.99. You haven't seen
What
that for a
states
long
are these?
time.
Can you look this up, Sid?
And I brought cost.
Actually, yeah,
I want
because
to fact check that. I mean, I
keep hearing it, but I don't like. I mean, look, prices went down in my area, but to one something, wow.
I mean, during the lowest I've ever bought gas was under Trump's term in 2019, I believe. It was $1.64 a gallon in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. And it was lower than that in some areas, but $1.99, that is insane. What? Someone just put in the chat. It was $1.99 in Texas, a mile from the refinery.
That makes
I
sense.
mean, that's not. I mean, just being close to a refinery doesn't always dictate low gas prices. But what
yeah,
was
but
it?
let's see. They
What
got
was it before?
right now. Let's see. The only thing I can find, the top cheapest states by average as of early July is Mississippi with $2.70, Oklahoma $2.71, Louisiana $2.76, Alabama $2.76, and Arkansas $2.77. So let's see here, key takeaway. So a full 46 cheap. Let's see, 46 cents cheaper per gallon in Mississippi compared to the national average
Who paid
of
98 cents in New Orleans? Wait, what was that? Like a special?
I mean, shoot, who knows? I'm just reading out what I'm being told right now on both sides, and this is coming from ChatGPT and Google.
What's the lowest that you saw? I was looking at the chat while you were reading that.
Oh, the lowest right now. Well, they gave me the top 5, and the lowest right now they said at average price, Mississippi with $2.70. So it might be in Mississippi somewhere. That's the average price. So you average everything all together, and it comes out to $2.70.
So there. That was probably then the $1.99 that he's quoting was probably one gas station that did it for 5 hours in a day, like a Circle K or something. They do gas drops like that sometimes.
There were sheets.
Yeah. Okay.
Way down, just about every cost. I can't think of a cost that went up, but just about every cost. So what they do is they lie. I mean, they take ads. You'd almost think that the advertising station would stop it because they know it's wrong. It's such a lie. All you can do is say it's a lie and explain it. I guess I have the ability to explain it at conferences like this, so I like to take advantage of it and do it. But costs are substantially down under the Trump administration. And as you know, Biden had the highest inflation, I believe, in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but regardless, I think it was really the highest in the history of our country.
Yo, what's up?
Everybody in the chat that's talking about West Coast states, $5 a gallon in Washington, $4.40 a gallon in California. Yeah, that's because of the gas tax that was just recently raised in Washington by 60 cents, and California, you know, I've lost track of how much a gallon it is in gas for a gas tax.
Honestly, like what I'm seeing is close to what Mississippi got. Like probably the lowest I've seen gas is like $2.50, and that's like, I mean, I gotta go out. I damn near gotta go out to the rich neighborhoods for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, the richer neighborhoods.
And gas is going down, and states are simultaneously raising their gas tax. Liberal states, to be particular.
All right.
And they were up to numbers that nobody ever saw before. And we have inflation now totally under control. We have a Fed chairman that if he was doing his job properly would lower interest rates, but we're bullying through even that. We're doing so well, it's not having that kind of an impact on us. But you want to see a rocket ship? We should have the lowest interest rates, because without us, there's nothing. And we have a strong country now, and we're taking in a lot of money. And other countries aren't even complaining. They got away with murder. They took advantage of a lot of very stupid people that sat in the seat, very stupid people, or people that didn't understand business or something was going on. But hard to believe that they got away with it for so many years. But now, and I'm treating them very fairly. Again, we have countries with tremendous deficits with us where we have, where we essentially lose a lot of money. And we are changing that around very rapidly. And I think it's about time somebody did it. Yeah, please.
Sir, yesterday you said that you were not sure who ordered the munitions.
It's crazy. There actually is a lot of economic effects to lowering the interest rate. Of course, stimulate consumer spending, encourage business investment, boost stock market. I mean, now it does what? Actually, there is one effect, though. It does weaken the currency. So lower rates often make a currency less attractive to foreign investors. And then, of course, it could sometimes increase inflation. And
It absolutely does. So every time, you don't want your interest rate to be too low, because the reason the interest rate was so low for the longest time was because the economy had just fallen out, like literally fallen out. Interest was at 0%, and what happens with that is people borrow money that don't need it, or not that don't need it, but that don't financially deserve it, and it weakens the economy again and again, and it's a cyclical cycle. So you don't want to drop interest rates just because the president says so.
Gotcha. Now hold on. Now I do have to interrupt on. Now for U.S. context, if the Fed cuts rate from 5.5 to 4.5, pretty much what you might see: mortgage rates fall from 7% to 6.3. Car loans become pretty much 0.5 or 1% cheaper. Stock market rallies, and inflation expectations tick up if demand rises. So yeah, like you said.
Halted to Ukraine. Have you since been able to figure that out?
Well, I haven't thought about it because we're looking at Ukraine right now and munitions, but I have not gone into it.
What does it say that such a big decision could be made inside your government without you knowing?
I would know. If a decision was made, I will know. I'll be the first to know. In fact, most likely I'd give the order, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, please.
How your meeting with Netanyahu went over the last couple of days, and how realistic do you think a ceasefire is this week?
Well, we're talking about Gaza for the most part. I think we have a chance this week or next week. Not definitely. There's nothing definite about war and Gaza and all of the other places that we all deal with so much. But there's a very good chance that we'll have a settlement, an agreement of some kind this week, and maybe next week if not.
As well, sir. The African Growth and Opportunity Act, which has been central to many sub-Saharan countries having access to the US market, that's due to expire in September. Are you hoping to extend that beyond it?
Well, we'll take a look at that. Yes, please.
Thank you. That's up to Congress to take a first crack at. We know that program's been in place for about 20 years. And at the end result of that, we see a lot of other countries operating in Africa. We still see a lot of tariff and non-tariff barriers in Africa. So I think any discussion about that act would also have to think about how we address those kinds of barriers.
Yeah, Peter.
President Trump, in Alvarado, Texas, a few days ago, 10 people wearing all black allegedly set off fireworks outside an ICE office to lure the officers out so they could ambush them, shoot at them.
Yep.
They had guns and vests and two-way radios. Do you think that this was an isolated incident, or do you think there's a national threat of a left-wing militia that is targeting ICE
insurrection?
Well, I think you have some very stupid people.
Insurrection? Like, are you sure we're taking it that far?
It's coordinated, it's violent, and it's against the government.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Hey, and see, that's what I was saying. I did say when people are taking it this far, why are you guys mad that they're masked up when there are people literally trying to hurt these guys to keep illegals here?
They're just COVID masks.
They're just COVID.
They're just COVID masks. They're trying to keep the community safe.
All right, COVID mask with the sunglasses.
eye
protection
on the left who have some money that are making it available to these people, because you look at the guns they had, they were brand new. You look at even the clothing they were wearing, it looked like it just came out of some military shop. So you have some very stupid people that if anything ever happened, they'd be the first to go. They don't understand that. They'd be the first to go. They'd be the first ones hit. But there is money being put behind people. When you look at the weapons they have, the newness of the weapons, rifles that just came out and they have the latest model. So there's something going on, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
And what do you think the penalty should
What
be
rifle is this?
for the?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hold on, they got.
Can I buy
steady
one?
arms.
Hold on. Are they getting the 6 hour freaking next generation soldier weapon or squad weapon? What's going on here?
I mean, yeah, and like, damn, it's already on the black market. Like, that was quick.
That's why the Pentagon can't pass a budget.
I'm telling you, man. It's like, hey, some missing weapons. My bad. Or that secret dark breakaway civilization that that one lady was talking about. What was it? It was Bush's old finance person. Like, it was this finance lady that worked under Bush, and she was pretty much talking about how part of that hole in the Pentagon's budget is pretty much us funding a secret breakaway civilization with alien technology. I know. Wow.
What?
Bro, I know.
It's enough for me to struggle with current policies and politics on Earth. Don't bring whole nother freaking civilization to it.
Bro, it was on Danny Jones. She like the lady worked for Bush as one of the finance people, and she was like, yeah, I tracked it back, and I'm starting to see that, oh yeah, there's a lot of black budget things going on, those corporations that they don't got to release their technology or anything like that. Yeah, we got a lot of that going on. So when people say, oh, let's cut military spending, I'm like, oh, so you're trying to cut that black budget that the government ain't gonna let go of. I mean, good luck with that one. They've been holding on for that for years. So
and we'll get to the bottom of it.
And what do you think the penalty should be for these people who are, if they are found guilty, for people
Very
who
stiff.
shoot at ICE officers?
Very, very stiff. Very stiff. A long time in jail. A long time.
What's the
And one got hit yesterday in the neck. And he fortunately is going to be okay. But he got hit yesterday in the neck. No good.
And what would you think if I read you a quote from a lawmaker who says about ICE to abolish it, to treat them as criminals or anything that is inappropriate and outrageous? And I told you that was Democrat John Fetterman.
Wow. It's, by the way, I assume when you read that, because you paused in the middle, you're going to have to read that again without the pause. Could you read that again, please?
To abolish it, to treat them as criminals or anything that's inappropriate and outrageous.
So he's saying that to treat the people that did the shooting is. Oh, okay, good. Because the way you read it, it really was the opposite. That's okay. That's all right. I think that's what he meant. No, the new John Fetterman is exactly what you said. He's right. He's right. And we have to protect our police officers, and we will. And we have been. If you saw the stats released by the FBI the other day, the murder rate's way down, the lowest it's been in a long time. And that took place over the last 6 months. For the last 6 months, murder, it's a hell of a subject to have to talk about, but murder is way down at almost getting to be modern day records. So that's despite the fact that we have a lot of people that came into the country that shouldn't be here.
Mr. President?
Yes, please.
So 2 questions, one on tariffs, the other on the IRS. On tariffs, China is reportedly softening their impact on U.S. tariffs in Africa, announcing last month that they would halt charges on imports for nearly all of its African partners.
Good.
Does this move by China influence your thinking, your approach to tariffs on the continent?
Well, we treat Africa great in many different ways, including with tariffs. But, parts of Africa charge us tremendous tariffs, as you know. And they're going to be dropping those tariffs. They've already informed me they're going to be dropping those tariffs. But we treat Africa far better than China or anybody else, anyplace else. Yeah.
And let's be real, though. We're going to treat Africa way better than China and Europe. Europe and China like to pillage these guys for their resources. China goes the extra mile by taking over their infrastructure. So yeah, maybe they are willing to try something new right now. And a shout out to these African countries for testing that out with us. because I mean they tried it with the European countries, that ain't work. They tried it with China, that ain't work. So they might as well come over to America and try us out. And the reason why a lot of these countries don't is really because, like, Russia has deep influence in Africa. So that's the reason why a lot of African countries don't like the West either.
On the IRS says that churches can now endorse political candidates. What's your reaction to this? And how do you expect this to influence some of the work that's afoot on the continent? There's a lot of American churches that are missionaries doing missionary work on the continent. Do you support that?
I love the fact that churches can endorse a political candidate. I think so, because we have a lot of respect for the people that lead the church, for the pastors and the ministers and the rabbis and all different leaders, all different religions, and people respect those people. And I think there's nothing wrong. It was a very big penalty if that took place just a little while ago. They had a thing called the Johnson Act, and it was a very big penalty. I think it's great if a pastor, minister, priest, rabbi, and we could very much go into your religion, by the way, which is something that people are having great respect for throughout the world. If somebody of faith wants to endorse, I think it's something that I'd like to hear. And I can guarantee you the people that they're with every Saturday or Sunday or whenever it is they're with, they want to hear from these people. And it was a very severe penalty. Those people were not allowed to speak up. Now they're allowed to speak up. No, I think it's terrific.
Mr. President, your administration took new actions against Harvard University today. Are you still optimistic about reaching a deal with the university?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Harvard's been very bad, totally anti-Semitic. And yeah, they'll absolutely reach a deal. Peter?
I just got a text from our colleague, John Roberts. He says that we are now reporting the guy who was arrested in the Alvarado, Texas incident for tampering with the evidence was a green card recipient under the Biden administration and a prior DACA recipient. What do you think of that?
It's very sad. It's very bad. A lot of them are here. We came in and 21 million, I think it's higher than that, by the way, but they say 21 million people came in. Many of them are criminals. Many of them are murderers. 11,888 is what they say are murderers. And they came in through open border policies, no checking, no vetting, no nothing. And we have a lot of that. And despite that, we have crime down, which is pretty amazing.
And this is a
And
long
say hello
meeting,
to
so
John. Say hello to John Roberts.
I will. I'm sure he's watching this right now. A lot of news has broken since we've been in here. Axios says a secret White House meeting between Steve Witkoff, Ron Dermer, and a Qatari envoy on Tuesday led to significant progress in the negotiations over the Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal. What can you tell us about this
It's very
secret meeting?
Yeah, Hamas agreed to release 10 hostages as part of the Gaza ceasefire talks, says negotiations are tough. So, yeah. But, hey, it is what it is. I mean, hey, that's 10.
I will tell you, we're getting very close to a deal. I don't know if it's secret or not.
Now, I wonder if Hamas can get any of their hostages. I wonder. I doubt it because they don't really have too much footing, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Secret, but doesn't matter to me. Secret's fine if it gets us to where we want to be. We want to have a ceasefire. We want to have peace. We want to get the hostages back. And I think we're close to doing it. Okay. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
President Trump.
Thank you, Peter.
And all right, now let's get over to a bit of a tariff derangement syndrome with our guys over there at NBC News. All right, let's get to it.
Well, President Trump posted to Truth Social announcing a new round of tariff hikes targeting 6 additional countries. All of this comes just days after he sent similar letters to more than a dozen other countries outlining their higher reciprocal tariff rates if, in fact, they do not come to the table to negotiate. Now, the deadline to finalize those new deals with the U.S. was originally scheduled for today, but now has been delayed to August 1st. Here, following every piece of this breaking news, we have NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung. Brian, who are the latest 6 countries?
Yeah, these are relatively smaller trade partners with the United States. So no shade to these countries, but they're not that big in terms of the overall trade. We're talking about countries like Philippines, Moldova, Algeria, Iraq, Libya. These tariff rates.
It does seem that there is a base 20% tariff, though. The base is 20, and then after that, you just go 25, 30 on Iraq, 30 on Libya, Moldova. Okay. Yeah, like I said, he's sending out letters. He, like, as Trump promised, he's like, look, if they don't reach a trade deal, I'm just going to start sending letters to these guys on what they're going to pay.
are ranging from 20 to 30%. Most of them in line with what we saw on that big poster board that you recall the president showing in the Rose Garden in the first week of April. The language of these letters still needs to be parsed through, but if they are identical to what we saw in the beginning of this week, the letters basically say something to the effect of, we appreciate our trade relationship with you. Here is the tariff rate that you'll begin paying August 1, not today. These letters are going out today, but the collection won't begin until August 1st. And that these tariffs may be modified upward or downward depending on our relationship with your country. So it's basically an open invite for negotiation prior to August 1st.
We saw on the screen the rate of tariff that each country would face, but collectively, when you say they don't represent such a big portion of our trading partners, in totality, how much do they represent?
Yeah, I'd have to do the math on each one of those countries, but I would guess.
None of them are like key partners. I mean, and none of them are like China or shoot. Actually, really, China is our biggest one. Yo, Monty. What's another big trade? Well, India. Well, China, India. What's another big trade partner of ours?
That's
what I'm saying.
I mean, I know we get a lot of our products, like our first
Mexico,
Bangladesh, Vietnam.
Okay, major trade. Okay,
India, Taiwan.
Semiconductors.
Yeah.
And none of that.
I mean, it kind of depends on what you mean by trading partners. Are you talking about like value, or are you talking about like how much goods they're sending, like tonnage? And
yeah, I was thinking about value. That's why I kind of named China and India off the rip. Like, all right, they provide decent value. They provide pretty good value.
Yeah, Australia and France. We do a lot. Germany. I mean, because you just think of your high value items. Those are the easiest ones to get like really up there, like German cars, for example.
And you know what? You know, a lot of people not seeing, like, since everything's kind of like, like settled down with China, everything else is smooth sailing. China was the hardest. That's the only deal that I seen that was going to be tough. And once they got that out the way, I was like, oh, everybody's just going to roll over after this.
Yeah. So this is going to make a very big dynamic shift. I think part of this is a two-phased approach, right? So you want to distance yourself from China. You want to make it so that people don't want to buy Chinese goods, and then you want to go over to these countries that we've been giving aid to. Like I'm starting to see the plan kind of roll out. And say, hey, let's trade with you. You're gonna make the money, but it's like a teach a man to fish versus give a man a fish type deal.
Yep.
You're gonna earn your money. We're still gonna give it to you by via our consumers, and it's not gonna be tariffed. And it's an interesting way to do things, and it kind of spreads the dependence. It kind of diversifies versus 80% China to maybe China will still be a big trade partner, but maybe it'll go down to like 40%, and maybe our IP will stop getting stolen.
And that's what I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see that we're like waning ourselves off China when it comes to like rare earth minerals and other like resources as well. And that's why I feel like Trump is, and I've seen this from the beginning with the whole Ukraine deal and how you're trying to push that minerals deal so hard. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because you're trying to wane yourself off China. You're trying to show China that, yo, we got options. Like, we got Ukraine, we got UK, now we got countries out here in Africa. Like, now you really got to talk to us nice, because we got options.
Well, when I debate lefties on tariffs, that's the first thing they bring up is, oh, where are you going to get all your stuff? Well, right now, you're right. We don't have any options. But if we create the options, which we can do, because our dollar, as it sits, is still the world currency, and everybody wants to trade in our dollar. While we still have that advantage, let's secure that advantage and diversify. Like, you're going to get hit with a 1-2 punch of economics. And
bro, I can already see the plan. Like, you know how China was holding those magnets that's on like all of our items?
Yeah.
It's because of the rare earth minerals that they have.
Rare earth minerals. Think about it.
Now that we've opened it up to other countries, now we can start producing these magnets, or have these other countries more trustworthy than China to start producing our magnets, more dependent on us than China, and it'll be a better deal for us in the long run.
Yeah, like we've built up China enough. China could be, if it wasn't so communist, could be a first world country.
Yeah. But all right, man. But hey, it is a pretty smooth plan, though.
How much do they represent?
Yeah, I'd have to do the math on each one of those countries, but I would guess that it's not as big as some of the countries that were announced on Monday. There were some pretty big trading partners as part of the batch that he released on Monday, like Japan, like South Korea. So yeah, certainly have to look at the numbers. But and by the way, these are not all of the countries either. Even after this more recent batch today, there are probably tens of countries that still would not have been accounted for, given the list that he published on the first week of April.
Do we have a sense, any new data yet on American sentiment towards these tariffs?
Not specifically towards the tariffs, but generally some of the polls that we've done here at NBC News has shown that the tariff policies from the president aren't necessarily all that popular. But when it comes to the overall economic data, we haven't necessarily seen the full bite of the tariffs impacting prices at the store. There are a few reasons for that. One might be that a lot of these companies that anticipated these tariffs coming, they just front ordered it before the tariffs took effect, and they've been stockpiling it in warehouses so they didn't have to pass on those price increases. But it could also just be a function of a lot of these tariffs haven't been put in place. The only ones that really have been around for a prolonged period of time would have been the steel and aluminum tariffs put into place in March. We've been doing some price tracking at the business team. We've seen some appliances like things like fridges, as well as water bottles and gaming consoles increasing in prices. But those are really the only categories where we've seen an increase.
So what happens between now and the
Wait,
deadline
what?
of August 1st?
Well,
like what?
Gaming consoles? A gaming console hasn't come out. I mean, the Switch 2 just came out, but
how do you assess that?
Right, like PlayStations did not get more expensive. People, stop! Good God,
bro, water bottles did not get more expensive. Like what? I just bought like four. Boy, I just bought some cases. You can't tell me that water. They were the same price. I'm like, what? It's like it's almost like he had to make something up.
So in that sentence, he was referencing steel and aluminum. I think he's talking about reusable water bottles like Stanley's, and well, those are cups, but like metal water bottles. Maybe those have gone up. I haven't bought one of those in a while, but you know,
maybe. But if you go on Amazon, you'll probably find a cheaper option there.
Well, that comes from China, so
yeah, ain't that truth?
I don't think anyone